Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai. Let's check out Ray's Arcade Chronology running on Nintendo Switch 2. Now this is a Nintendo Switch 1 game. It's available both physically and digitally. If you buy the physical version, then you have access to Ray Gear, which was the prototype for a sequel which never got finished or published to RayForce. But what ultimately came out was Ray Storm. You see the digital version doesn't have that. If you do want to be able to play our gear, then you will need to buy the physical version that's exclusive to the physical version of this game, which is, limited in quantity. However, if you don't care about that, or if you have some other means to play our gear, then what we have here is we have the arcade versions of RayForce, Ray Storm, and Ray Crisis. Now, on RayForce, you could potentially buy this as the Saturn Tribute. So you can get the home version of this game. And then it's also possible to get Ray Storm and Ray Crisis as HD collections with just these two games. But if you just want the arcade games of all three, then this is how you would purchase that. So, with that out of the way, let's check these out. 1994. Again, this is made by M2. So what we have is we have lots of the cool stuff that M2 has been known for. We have difficulty settings. We have languages. There's a burn-in option to sort of dim the sides and dim some objects. Rapid fire shots from the PCB, which changes the rapid fire on the arcade board. Right, if you turn it on, may slow down, but although if we're running on the Switch 2, I don't think this applies. We have some screen options too, right? Pixel perfect, fit screen, and full screen. I don't know why anyone would ever pick full screen, but it is there if you want it. Smoothing and scan lines, which I never turn on. Various backgrounds you can also turn on, which I don't normally turn this on. Boundary effects. And then if you want to play it in Tate, or if you just have your screen just kind of formatted in a different way, you can also do that as well. And then the M2 gadgets, which show you all sorts of information about the game. We'll see that here in a minute. And again, you can fully turn those off if you just want a gray screen in the background. And then connection to rapid fire, ranking displays, all the other fun stuff if you want. And since this is the arcade version specifically, we're going to get the arcade version difficulty and sound, which again is different than the home version that came out for the Saturn, known as Layer Section or Galactic Attack, depending on what region you're from. Yeah, the home versions and the arcade version, they do differ a bit, certainly in the sound, especially when you consider the Saturn's Redbook audio. So it's a slightly different sounding game than the home version. This version never appeared on the PlayStation, but the sequels did appear on PlayStation. This is just an old-fashioned 2D with sprites. I think a pretty well-loved arcade game. And for those of us lucky enough to have the Saturn version, either as Galactic Attack or Layer Section, that was certainly a well-done port, all things considering. Yeah, tough game, but you know, you can get used to it, and there's definitely a pattern and strategy to all these games. It's kind of, you know, the old school design of making shmups, and not necessarily just to fill the screen full of bullets, which is sort of modern design right now. Raystorm, first time into building the game fully in 3D. Of course, you can get the original Raystorm or the HD version, which will improve the resolution and some of the textures as well, and have the game run at 60 frames, which I think it ran at like 24 or 30 frames. I don't think it was quite 30 frames in the original arcade. And, you know, it's not a complete visual overhaul, but things certainly do look a little crisper. And to me, this is the way to play the game, to play the HD version.
August 4th, 2219, Albion
It's kind of nice to have a riff on the original opening soundtrack, or opening track from the first game. Yeah, you know, it still remains chunky looking, but I think going from the 2D to 3D, I mean, this series did pretty well. You know, many other series that started off as 2D, you know, did not make the transition to 3D. Not do it, you know, anywhere near as well as this. It's kind of a testament to the title of old. And I think it's just a matter of preference on whether or not you like the 2D style or this 3D style. I think both are impressive in different kinds of ways. On Ray Crisis. And again, there's the original version on here as well, which also appeared on the original PlayStation, although it didn't run particularly well on the original PlayStation. It was definitely pushing the limits of what that system could do.
Join forces with human clones. Wave Rider. Cybernetics Link.
But of course, the arcade board was, you know, a much more powerful version of the PlayStation. I mean, it was using their G Unit arcade board.
Ray Crisis.
Then we have different types, 2 different types to work with, and how the lasers react. Just go with classic for now. And again, all the stuff on the side there, we can turn off the M2 gadgets if we want, but yeah, I like to leave them on. Put a lot of work into them. Sort of a shame to hide them all. Excuse me. Oh. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Once I start coughing at once, it just doesn't seem to stop. all sorts of distractions right now. Yeah, see, even here we're getting a little bit of slowdown, even in the arcade unit. But as I said, it was much worse on the PlayStation. The PlayStation had a really rough time running this, the home version. But, you know, I think it's still pretty impressive. You know, as I said, things look chunky, but, you know, the animation and the art quality is still there. You can see what they were going for. And, you know, it's just a very, very colorful game. I gotta take something for this. I gotta take something for this cough. Thank goodness. So, why don't we stop it there for this one? This is meowmurai. You've been watching Ray's Arcade Chronology, or running on Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah, so this is going to run largely the same here on the Switch 2. There's not much changed, but you know, the fact that it's compatible, and the fact that you get all three games in the from the arcade is you know, really nice. Plus the HD versions of Ray Storm and Ray Crisis. So yeah, it's a good package. It comes in at $50. If you want to buy the limited edition, I think that's only like $55 or $56. So you know, not much more than the digital version. But you do have to wait while they produce those. But definitely check it out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.